We're going to talk about Pleiadian 101. So some of this might be old stuff to some of you and brand new to others, and hopefully even if you know a lot about the Pleiadians, there'll be something in here that'll speak to you. The Pleiades is, I'm not an astronomer, so this is not my area of specialty, so I have to learn. I actually have had to work backwards, so when the Pleiadians began channeling through me, I had to go scramble to try to find out a little bit about them. So I've had to work backwards on some of these things. But the Pleiades is a star system that you can see with the naked eye if you're looking at in a clear night sky. And it's 7 stars. Well, there's actually about 800 stars in the system or more, but there's 7 that you can see on a clear night. And they're in the constellation of Taurus, and they're 444 light years away from Earth. And when you look on a clear night sky, you can see 6 of these 7 stars, only 6 of them. But so this is the kind of curiosity or the mystery, is that we call the Pleiades the 7 sisters. They've always been called the 7 sisters since, you know, the very earliest of recorded history. There's a reason for that. So astronomers say that the last time that we were able to see all 7 of the stars with our physical eyes was about 100,000 years BC ago. So that's the last time that 7th star was visible to our naked eye. So the fact that we have all these stories around about the 7 sisters, and they're also called the 7 doves or the 7 stars, indicates that these stories are 100,000 years old, at least. That's the indication. So, because there are so many ancient stories from all over the world about these 7 stars, also called the 7 sisters, the 7 doves, they go back before pre-recorded history, and these stories are documented from the Incas, the Hopi Indians, the Celts, the Moors, the Aboriginal Australians, the Persians, the Arabs, the Chinese and Japanese culture, the Mayans, Aztecs, Sioux and Cherokee Indians in North Carolina, and Tennessee, and the Hawaiian and Polynesian cultures and Brazil. So every one of those cultures have stories and mythologies about these 7 sisters. And they were named, they each have a name, which I won't say all of them here, and they were named after the Greek gods Atlas and Pleione. So here's some curiosities. You know, I'll tell a little bit on Chuck. So when we first started dating, at some point not too far into the relationship, he started talking to me about channelers and about the Pleiadians. Talked to him, and I thought, oh my God, this man is crazy. You know, and I mean,
well, I am, but
yeah, you know, it kind of freaked me out. But you know, if you've been in a relationship with somebody, you're just kind of in just deep enough that, you know, there's a lot of sparks and fun stuff happening. So, and you know, there's enough good stuff that you don't really quite want to hang it out. So you just kind of keep going. So he had already kind of hooked me in pretty good. And so I decided to just kind of ignore this crazy Pleiadian talk and stuff, channelers and all that. But one of the first channelers he introduced me to, I'm going on a bunny trail now, was Daryl Anka, and Chuck had actually helped to fund his movie that he did. And I thought, this is so weird. But as soon as Daryl started channeling and giving the message, I was like, wow, this is great stuff. It just rang so true to me. I mean, it really was setting me free and really doing something for me. So I started being more open-minded. So back to the Pleiadians. Some parts of history that point to the reality of this beautiful race that we channel. In the Mayan legend, it's said that our very first ancestors came to the Americas through a hollow pathway or a tunnel. They compared it to a serpent, and they referred to them as the 7 sisters, the Pleiadians. In Machu Picchu, there's an ancient holy site called the Taurian Tower, and have you guys seen it?
He just went to Machu Picchu.
He went? And so this tower that was carved from rock has 2 windows in it, and both of the windows face the Pleiadian star system and give a view of the 7 sisters. Also in Peru, there's an ancient temple there named the Chavin de Huantar, and it contains a 3,000-year-old altar, and on the altar is a depiction of the 7 stars of the Pleiades. In North America, the Cherokees have their own creation story that's very different from the Protestant Catholic creation story of the Bible. And in the story, the Pleiadians came to Earth through a portal in the heavens over East Tennessee, and they seeded and established the Cherokee race. So in other words, the Cherokee were considered to be the offspring of Pleiadians. And they left the Cherokee there to be guardians of this portal between heaven and earth. Now, if you're interested in learning more, the go-to guy on this topic is Billy Meyer, and he really caused a worldwide awakening through his work. He had hundreds of encounters with the Pleiadians that he documented, and that's the reason why we have more information and more contact from them now, is because of his kind of pioneering work. So my personal connection with the Pleiadians, I'll tell a little bit about that. So shortly after Judah began coming through and we were channeling Judah, Judah introduced me to a new being called the 3 Pleiadian sisters. And I experienced them as one voice, or as 3 of them being represented through one spokesperson. And I always experienced them as being right here over my left shoulder. I just kind of sensed them being here. And they explained that they operate together like a trinity, like body, mind, spirit, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So they're very uniquely tied in harmony and unity. And they are representatives of 3 of the 7 stars, Esteropa, Electra, and Mai. And I have not seen them with my physical eyes as of yet, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. And when they speak, you'll notice when I channel, if you've listened much, you know, Judah's kind of big and young and kind of masculine and preachy and, you know, high energy. The Pleiadians are much softer, more feminine. You'll hear and sense the difference. So when I experience them, my personal experiences of them is they're very calm, they're wise, they're, you know, if I'm upset or troubled about something and they come through, I just immediately feel centered and at ease. And whatever I was concerned about, my concerns just vanish. They're very nurturing, always undisturbed. That's the way I experience them. Just very level and peaceful. They're primarily concerned, as far as what they've told me, as to why they're working with me. They work with the Galactic Federation team with me in order to basically just to minister to me, just to keep me emotionally and mentally balanced. And so that's the only real reason that they've given me for their working with me. And of course, I think that's really important because that facilitates all the stuff that, you know, we do with Judah. So as far as the Pleiadian race goes, we have information from history, and then we have information from channelers and contactees. And, you know, I think a lot of the importance of channeling right now is that these beautiful high dimensional beings that have so much love and compassion and interest and an investment in humanity and in our success, in our evolution, they speak primarily through channeling and through contactees. I think we've been told in the work with the Galactic Federation that they will and do work sometimes within governmental structures and space agencies and things, but they don't always find the support or open openness, willingness that they desire. So because of that, they'd rather speak through the common man, and they do. And you know, sometimes we can, if you listen to a lot of different channelers, which you might, you'll find maybe some differences between channels, information, some details and things, but who cares, right? I mean, this is just my perspective. Like, who cares? I'm listening for the consistent messages that I hear that are common threads through all of the channelers, and there are some, and they are important in my mind, for me. So the Pleiadian race has been called for, you know, way back into sacred texts. They were called the cradle and throne of consciousness. So they're all about awareness and consciousness and the evolution of consciousness. And so it's thought that our consciousness actually comes seeded from them. Hey, sweetie, come on in. Oh, this is a special treat. My son is here. Come on in, sweetie. So it is said that the Pleiadians, some of the original Pleiadians that came to that star system were from Lyra. There was a star system that the Lyran star system was at war. And so the original Pleiadians were refugees from the Lyran star system. And it's thought that they discovered the Earth around 225,000 BC, and they've played a large role all the way along in our ancient evolution. And it's said that they left, though, departed the Earth in 10 AD. Now, this is from channeled sources. And so they're typically known to be Swedish, Nordic, very tall, 7, 8, 9 feet tall. Some of them are in a physical body that's very human-like, and some of them are not. Some of them are angelic in nature. They're in light bodies. So, and just like there are many races on the Earth of all different colors, shapes, and sizes in the Pleiades, they're not all the Nordic-looking types. There's refugees and transplants and immigrants from everywhere there. They don't eat. They have mastered or transcended matter. So part of their gift is that they can shape and shift matter with their thoughts. So one of the main things that we want to learn, I can learn from Pleiadians, is that they have mastered their thought life. They get it. Like, you know, we say all the time, well, you create your own reality. Be careful what you think. Your thoughts are always creating things. Well, they actually have manifested and mastered the reality of that. They experience it. When they think a thought, they know it's going to manifest. And so they have developed enormous mastery of our thoughts. You know, so a lot of times I think if we're in this kind of world where we are beginning to believe that we're creating our own reality, we're like, why don't I manifest what I want? You know, I'm putting all this energy into meditating, and doggone it, my car still broke down, or doggone it, I don't have any money in my bank account, and I've been putting out all this good vibes and meditating and all that. Well, the truth is, we don't have enough mastery to really handle the power of our, does that make sense? I mean, there's really a loving generosity in the fact that they're not allowing us to manifest every thought that passes through our head. Because if we manifested every thought that passed through our head, it would be a mess. You know, it'd be a constant mess. So, but that is a big part of their focus, right, in working with humans and through channels, is to help us understand we're creating our reality in every moment, and to help us to begin to gain mastery over our thoughts and understanding our thoughts as creative. Let's see. Their technologies reflect this mastery that they have over thought, technology, time and space. They do have craft. There are people, you know, many documented people that have seen these craft. The crafts are operated actually by AI, and that's a big topic out there these days. And they're made of a polymorphic metal that can be shaped and shifted. So if the vessels are damaged in any way, the AI that runs the ships will heal the ship. So the ships are self-healing, in other words. As far as in the star system itself, for the people that live there, they have both cities and open nature and landscapes like we do. However, their cities are much of a more integrated nature and landscapes and plants and flora and fauna with the city. So it's not like our cities where it's just concrete, everywhere. It's much more of an integration of, how we would hope it would be here. So in the Pleiadian culture, it's very high vibe. There's very, very enlightened. There's heart-centered. They live from the heart, from unconditional love. They just naturally act from this place of doing what's best for everyone involved. There's trust in governmental leaders and so on, and in their exchange system. So it's not like us where there's a constant angst, with authority and the monetary system. Everything flows from a place of love and caring for others. There's no hierarchies there. There's no greed. There's no competition. They're not afraid of technology. I know a lot of us right now, we're having a lot of interior battles around AI and the takeover of technology. Judah was we had a question about AI the other night, and Judah was channeling on it. And Judah said, well, you already are AI. You've got AI right in your hand. And I started thinking about, I carry my phone around in my hand a lot, and that is my intelligence. I reference it probably dozens of times a day for intelligence. So I'm not taking any stand, so don't take this, as me saying anything that I'm not. I'm just saying it's a reality. AI is a reality. And we're all sifting and sorting through what it's going to mean for us and the morality of it and how we're going to adapt with it. So they've mastered technology, time, and space. Obviously, they're not afraid of AI. They've integrated that with their life. They are masters of emotion. They understand that they operate through their feelings and through reverence for their feelings and intuition. They don't have a need for the mind like we do, in the same sense that we do. They're very benevolent helpers. They observe us without interfering. They offer guidance. Did you want to share something?
I'm just ready to hear them.
You ready to hear them? Okay. He's telling me, get off the notes. Okay, I'll make it quick. They have seeded our world. So a large part of their strategy was that there are Pleiadians who have incarnated here as humans. And so that's a large part of their strategy. So these star seeds, as they're sometimes called, or hybrids, the purpose for them being here is that being, that soul that's come here, they're here to be a living portal, to be an open window of heaven, to bring high vibe, high consciousness life. And there's some Arcturians around too. Their primary goal is to work with our chakra systems and our emotions to help us come into stages of enlightenment, to move up into realms of love and joy and peace. That's what's most important to them. All right, I'm going to listen to Chuck, and I'm going to put the notes down, and we're going to channel. Anybody have any questions about that so far?
No, but thank you for all that. That's a lot of information.
I've got a lot more. I've got like 5 of the key messages or purposes of the Pleiadians. So maybe we'll save that for next week. All right. Hello, Judah here. Welcome, Judah family. Welcome to the Judah Nation, Imagination Nation, who is tending to your beautiful vibration. And this vessel was just saying to someone even today How amazing it is to read your comments and the things that you share with this channel and with others who visit here, who are part of this physical and also digital family. We know that you represent your beautiful souls here so well. She was commenting how positive, how high vibe, how real, how authentic, how awakened and conscious you are, and how serious, not too serious, we would say, but serious in the most positive way we can use the word, about growing and evolving into your highest self. And how beautiful it is in such a negative world, with so much rancor, divisiveness, strife, envy, competition, hatred, complaining, victimization. How lovely it is that the Judah family is so focused on love, growth, high vibe, life, not in a fake or pretending sort of way, but in a desirous way, willing to shed what doesn't work, willing to shed what is causing the soul suffering, what is causing difficulty. Willing. We love this willingness. Thank you, Judah Nation, Judah family, for your beauty. The beauty of your soul, which is expanding and is connected and enlightened. And with everyone that comes and joins this family, this Judah Nation, each one that comes, there is an exponential power added. To the second power, to the third power, to the fourth power, to the fifth power, to the sixth power, and so on, and so on, and so on. And each soul, each beautiful soul represented here tonight, and also listening, and then again listening in the future days to come, you are adding an exponential power to the growing light emanation. The Judah family being just one of many families of all sorts of channelers and prophets, and spiritual leaders and everyday common people, and mediums, and musicians, and yoga teachers, and bankers. There and the endless roles that you play, but all together you are shifting and shaping this earth and ascending. Now we're going to hand it over to the Pleiadians, and we are thankful for them. They have a distinct and unique and high vibration, which is powerful, and it is a tremendous resource, and we would say it's virtually untapped. So please, will you tap this resource? And you say, well, how do I tap this resource? I don't channel like this one. I don't channel like this one. Well, that's not important at all. You can, and you will, and you do, and you shall receive help from Judah and the Pleiadians and any other group that you ask for help from. A very simple way to do it is this: I ask for help from any being that is equal to or higher than my own personal vibration. I ask for help from any loving being that is equal to or higher than my own personal vibration. Yes. And then put out your welcome mat. And remember to continue asking. Yes. Keep asking and keep receiving. And so we will hand it to the Pleiadian sisters now. Hello, dear ones. We are the Pleiadian sisters. We are representatives of 3 of the Pleiadian stars in the system and the many multitudes of beings from those 3 stars. We have been joyfully assigned to this vessel for the many tasks to come. We're going to share with you some of our goals and our task and how you may, as Judah has so kindly said, tap the resources that we have to offer. Yes. And so, dear ones, one of the things, as the vessel shared earlier, that we have to offer you is an understanding and acceptance of the beauty of your emotions being the energy in motion. Our concepts about emotions are so very different from yours. We welcome all emotions at all times, understanding that emotion is simply energy. We do not judge emotions as good or bad, right or wrong, appropriate or inappropriate. So, dears, whether you are angry, sad, or giddy with delight, we can support your emotion, knowing it is the natural expression of your soul at any given point in time. And yes, this vessel is correct. We do have mastery over emotion. We reverence and respect them and make allowance for them at all times with one another. Yes. Yes, we do. And so there are many concepts and ideas that you have about emotions. And yes, there is much a training and conditioning that has been done by your parents, your teachers, your culture, your spiritual leaders that has frankly been completely incorrect. There is never a time that you should reject, suppress, stuff, ignore an emotion that you have, but simply let it be what it is, let it arise and feel it. There's no need, there's no need to stuff it, push it down. It takes enormous energy to repress emotion. And so many of you, like this vessel, have been taught it's not okay to be angry or be sad or this or that. There's certain emotions that you understand or believe to be negative. And so you push these down and they rest inside the cellular structure of your being and they cause dis-ease, insomnia, so many diseases, my dears. If we have no disease, you see, in our culture, the reason we have no disease is because we don't repress, we express, we feel. Now, when we say we express emotions, we don't feel the need to harm or blame or bring damage to another as we express our emotions. We simply just let them be. We let them arise. We let them come and let them go. Let them come and let them go. And this would be a beautiful gift for you to give another person in your life. If you love another person, if there's someone important to you in your life and they say something in a moment of rage or anger or some, as you would say, a negative emotion, how about if you allow them to feel what they feel and don't judge their expression? And most of all, don't take personally anything they say in their expression, but just let the emotion arise and be what it is. And no need to be attached, you see. No need to fix emotions. No need to be attached to emotions. You see, you can let them come and go, come and go. Don't hold on to them. Whatever you felt 5 minutes ago is over if you have felt it completely and thoroughly all the way through. And so if you will allow yourself to feel your feelings, then they will be done with them and you can move on to the next. And that is the joy of emotion, is the variety that they provide to your life. Without them, life would be quite boring and uninteresting. So all emotion is energy, and if you don't like the expression of the energy, simply shift it to a different expression. And so this is another important part of our goal in working with you, is helping you to understand the way that thoughts and emotions work in tandem. Every thought having an emotion, every emotion having a thought. And the thoughts and emotions going around and around and around in loops, you see, always one connected to the other. So it's very difficult for you to have a thought without having an emotion, or to have an emotion without having a thought about it. Would you agree? And so understand that your thoughts can move the energy of emotion in a better direction if you'd like. Or your thoughts can drag you around by the heel. They most certainly can. And so the devil does not exist. The devil is only in your mind, my dear, and it's not an entity. It is a thought, or maybe a whole body or work, a whole collection of thoughts. And so release these thoughts, these entities from your mind. If you are having a consistently negative thought about yourself or about a situation, you can ask us or Judah for help, and you say, Pleiadian sisters, Judah, can you please, this thought is troubling me and I can't seem to be rid of it. Can you please tag and treat the very origin, the root of it? You see, many of you are struggling with thoughts and emotions that were seeded many lifetimes ago in a moment of trauma or extreme pain, or a difficult moment in the survival of your body or soul. And so you have a lot of karma packed on or added on to that thought and emotion loop. And so you need a little help, you see. Yes. If you had to cut down a tree in your yard, it would be difficult for you to pick it up by yourself and move it. But if a friend picked up the other end, or if you cut it in pieces and someone helped you pick up, then the burden could be shared, the load could be shared. And this is how we help you, assist you. You each have a guardian angel, but you also have spirit guides who help you with specific trouble spots where you're karmically stuck, where you're repeating patterns, the patterns that are causing you so much angst, so much suffering. But we would say you don't have to suffer anymore. Suffering is primarily the effect of the cause of a thought. Suffering is primarily caused by thoughts. Very little suffering in the experience of humanity is what we would consider a true impetus of suffering. What you think about a thing will determine your outcome. And so what to do about the mind, you say, because the mind runs amok. And when the mind has been given authority over your being for so long, and this is normal, we would say this, we want to say this to you. Listen carefully. There's someone who needs to hear this. You are frustrated because you think nobody goes through what I go through in my head between my two ears. Surely there's no one else on the planet that is as tormented by their thoughts as I am. And we would say, actually, dear, almost everyone is tormented by their thoughts. Fear plays in the mind. The mind is the playground for fear. But the heart is the playground of love. And so sometimes when your mind is running amok, simply put your hand over your heart. Just put your hand over your heart and feel your heart beat in and out, in and out, in and out. For you see, the first thing that formed of you in your mother's womb, from your mother's egg and your father's seed, the first thing that formed of you was your heart. Ba-bum, 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 ba-bum. And if you're listening to us right now, the truth is your heart has never, ever, ever, ever failed you. It has continued to beat and to beat and to beat. It is your very best friend. And there are more neurons in your heart than there are in your brain, my dear. That is a scientific fact. And so you are designed to live from the heart, from the heart, from the heart, not from the mind. And so let your mind do what it does. Don't bother trying to stop it, because this is usually a fruitless effort. It is like, as they say in your world, herding cats. But instead, go to the heart. live from the heart. Do the very next thing that you can do, even after this channeling and this session tonight. What is the very next thing you can do that is close to your heart? That brings you back to the center of the heart. You see, little babies suckle at their mother's breasts, and they don't need to think about anything. They don't need to figure out the future. They don't need to understand the past. They don't need to understand rocket science or aliens or any such thing, how to save for retirement, none of that. They simply drink in the love, drink in the love, drink in the love, laying right there over the mother's heart, next to the mother's beating heart. This is the way you can be with us, my dear, and with Source. You see, we provide for you the love. Love yourself through and through, every cell, through and through, through and through, through and through. Forgive yourself at all times. Accept yourself. Love yourself as you are. You're perfect and you lack nothing. When you do this one task, then you will be a world changer. Then you will be a creator and a manifester. Now, we want to tell you, there are many things we can tell you, but we will tell you one more important part of our mission in working with you. Before we go to this next part, we will say, know that we are here to help you stabilize your emotion, all of your emotions, and bring you into your heart center as a being, as a soul, as a human who operates from the heart. We are here to help you align with your heart. We are here to help you move out old, historical, painful, emotional energies. Either move them out or transform them into love energy. Don't be afraid if you begin to experience, even in the day or two after being here or being in the presence of this message, emotions arising. Good, bad, or indifferent. Don't judge them, allow them, and spend them, and allow them to go, so that new things can come. Now, a second part of our purpose with working with humans is to upgrade your physical body. Now, this might seem a little fantastical to some of you, and that is fine. If you look back over the course of human history, you will see have been a lot of upgrades of humanity. You are not Cro-Magnon, would you agree? Of course not. Now, there are upgrades coming in the evolution, and channeling can assist you in raising your vibration, the vibrations in your body. We are upgrading you just like you do updates on your phone or your computer in order to have access to new ways of functioning. Or your body can begin to function at higher and higher levels. As you bring in white light energy through being connected to your heart and to Source and to angels and to other high vibe beings, you begin to be able to absorb more and more and more high quality and quantities of white light energy. And this changes your molecular structure and it begins to activate your DNA. There is a DNA that has been called wrongly, incorrectly by scientists and researchers junk DNA. Well, we disagree. It is not junk DNA, it is DNA that has not been operative because of the low vibration in which some powers and entities would try to keep you in denser, lower vibrations. So we will say this to you, the DNA is 12-stranded, and much of this unaccessed as of yet heretofore, but we will and can and shall help you upgrade. And so these 12 strands of DNA are intimately connected to your 12 chakras. There are 7 in the body, 5 outside of the body. And as you begin to absorb our white light energy through meditation and work in casting off egoic structures, you will begin to ignite and fire and put to work this beautiful DNA, which we and other races have seeded into your physiology. And so each chakra being correlated to one of these 12 strands of DNA, and these 12 chakras, DNA, and are uniquely tied to the 12 dimensions of time and space, or of the heavens, as you would say. 7 chakras in your body. While you reside in the body, you can fire all this DNA, and you may live in the body as a 7th dimensional being. So many of you are 3rd dimensional in nature, now 4th dimensional if you are here in listening to a message like this, and many of you then embarking into a 5th dimensional nature, and you can progress in the body up to and maintaining consistently the 7th dimension in your physical body. Most beyond the 7th dimension prefer to continue on their journey outside of the body. So 7 chakras in the body, an 8th above you, a 9th a few feet away from you, a 10th rooted in the solar system, an 11th rooted in the universe, and a 12th in the multiverse, and the 13th then all is simply all God, only consciousness, only consciousness. So as you call on us, as you spend time in meditation and in the presence of Source, our presence and others, your DNA can be upgraded. Your nervous system can be upgraded. Take care as you begin to dabble in these higher realms. You may feel a little off kilter. Your nerves may feel a little newly exposed or sensitive. Take care of your body. Eat well. This vessel has written in her book some ideas for how to care for your body when you are in a high vibrational state. And an environment matters, we would say. Environment matters. It matters what you listen to. It matters what you eat. It matters where you go. It matters what you say. It matters how you love. It matters if you just go along with a really negative conversation. Your environment matters. Your environment matters. So create a heavenly space for yourself and allow yourself to begin to evolve into this high, beautiful beings that you are. For in truth, there will come a day when there will be no need for channelers, because you will be of such a high vibratory state that you will manifest the presence of light beings in the room with you. And you will have no need for one such as this. So a good day for this vessel and a good day for a channeler like her is the day in which you no longer need her. Okay, enough for now.